Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Having a good day. We got a little bit of precipitation. Some of you, we'll talk about that in just a moment. As far as our weather is concerned right now, we're looking at temperatures in the middle 70s. Right now at the airport, 75 degrees, 73 here at Radio Center. Downtown Midland is at 76. Downtown Bay City is at 74. We have a west breeze. That's going to become a little bit more northerly as we go through the next day or so. Barometer is rising right now at 29.75. That's because we do have a high pressure system that's off to the northwest of us, far enough away that it's really not influencing our weather a lot, but it is influencing the barometer. So eventually that high pressure system, as we move into Wednesday night and Thursday morning, is going to create pretty much rain-free circumstance, and temperatures for the most part will be a little bit below average, not much, but as that high continues to move all across the upper peninsula, moving from the west to the east, eventually it is going to draft some warmer air up into Michigan once again. So we will be looking at temperatures on the increase Friday, then Saturday, Sunday, and, well, we'll talk about Monday a little bit later on, all right? All across the state, we alluded to it, a little bit of precipitation here and there. Out at the airport, about 0.2 of an inch reported. Flint at Bishop Airport, a little bit better than 1/4 of an inch. You get a little bit further south. They did have some precipitation, but for the most part, down that US 23 corridor, they did not have a lot of rain. They had quite a bit of wind, and they did have some wind damage and unofficial reports of some tornadic activity south of Flint, south of Grand Blanc, down in the Fenton, Lake Fenton area. As far as us here in the Great Lakes Bay area, we did see a line of showers move through just before midnight last night, and that's pretty much the cumulative effect of what that precipitation is, right around 0.2, 1/4 of an inch. And that was about it. You get further south of the Fenton area, approaching Brighton and some of those spots, you didn't see nearly the amount of precipitation. We did see Ann Arbor report 2/100ths of an inch, but Richmond over in Macomb County, they received some of the precipitation that moved through Flint and southern Genesee County. They picked up close to 0.9 of an inch of rain there. A little bit closer to Lapeer, anywhere from 1/10 of an inch to 0.2 of an inch. Goodrich had 0.9 of an inch of rain. Linden only had 1/4 of an inch, and Burton not even 1/10 of an inch. Now for you in Owasso, close to 1/2 inch at a number of locations there. Out at the back 40 in Richville, Tuscola County, we're looking at close to 0.2. Vassar, 0.18 of an inch, but then you get a little bit further into Michigan's thumb. Cass City didn't even report a 1/10 of an inch, and Bad Axe just barely a trace. The Fillion area in Huron County, they picked up about 0.2 of an inch of rain. Northern Michigan, a little bit more. That's because the activity that occurred late last night, that's where it moved from. We did see Charlevoix picking up about 1 inch of rain there. East Jordan had only about 0.3, but still that's more than what we received. Engadine close to 0.9 of an inch. The Gaylord area right around 0.9 of an inch. West Branch, you had 3,600ths. Standish, you had 1,400ths of an inch of rain. But Pellston, some of those areas up there, Charlevoix, Pellston, better than 1 inch of rain over the last 24 hours. Looking at Roscommon, about 0.4 of an inch. Silver Creek had about 1/2 inch. That gives you an idea of just how much precipitation did occur. The majority of it from the system that moved through, that cold front It was all in northern Michigan, starting with Tawas at about a half inch, and then upward from there. Asaniq reported 1.3 inches of rain. Going through the day today, spotty sun. We're going to see some clouds around as well. We should work our way up to about 80 degrees. If there is going to be a chance of any precipitation, it's going to be very widely scattered, and precipitation amounts really don't appear to be adding up to too much at all. 80 degrees is our projected high temperature with a west wind, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It'll become northwesterly this afternoon, and that will signify front number 2 moving through and leaving us with a northwest wind. Northwest wind will continue tonight about 10 miles per hour. Mix of clouds and moonshine out there tonight, a low of 59. There is going to be the chance, again, a widely scattered shower around, but we're not looking for a lot of measurable accumulation of moisture out of that. Tomorrow, sun as the day goes on, we're once again going to see some spotty light showers around. There will be a north breeze tomorrow, but not a gusty breeze, 5 to 10 miles per hour. 77 is our projected high for tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it's going to get a little chilly, 54. We should be at 61 for this time of the year. So we're going to be looking at a little bit cooler than average temperature tomorrow night, as well as Thursday night. Thursday, more in the way of sun, high pressure over Lake Superior, 56 after a high of 80 for a low on Thursday night. Then on Friday, we'll see mostly sunny skies, maybe a few clouds around, 85 for a high on Friday. The partly cloudy sky situation will continue with a low of about 62 on Friday night. We're going to keep our eye on a low pressure system over South Dakota. That's going to be moving into southeastern Nebraska. And there is going to be the possibility that that low is going to affect our weather once we move into late Saturday night and early on Sunday morning. But what that low is going to be doing, it's going to be pushing a warm front up through the state. So again, as we said, Friday, we're going to be looking at the middle 80s. Saturday and Sunday, mid to upper 80s. And then Monday, with partly cloudy skies, hopefully we'll get a little precipitation on Saturday night and Sunday morning. Monday, partly cloudy skies, 90 degrees for a high next Monday. For the period of the 17th through the 25th, above average on the temperatures. That's going to continue. Average to slightly below average on the moisture. Record high in this state set back in that heat field decade of the 30s. 105 set in 1936. The record low 42 set in 1898. And a year ago, we had 0.6 of an inch of rain. 83 was our high. 61 was our low. So that, in a nutshell, is what the weather forecast is going to look like for the next few days. Summer weather is on the horizon. Temperatures above average once we roll into Friday. And looks like we're going to have an extended streak of above average temperatures from there on. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Rick Hollister standing by. We'll talk to him in just a moment. But again, we want to remind you the weather forecast is brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Kryzak's House Family Restaurant. You got to supply the food for an event coming up, and I know a lot of you have got plenty of events to go to, and maybe you're going to be the lucky one to be assigned the food detail. Well, you are lucky because you're going to call this number, 989-894-5531. That's the telephone number of Kryjak's House. They'll have the food ready for you. All you got to do is stop by, pick it up, and deliver it to where you're going to go. And people will love the food selection and the preparation. They're also a great place to dine in. Don't forget that. Kryjak's House, corner of Cass in Michigan, on Bay City's south side. Rick Hollister, good morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good, Terry. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad. Trying to recover from all that record heat up in Alaska over the past couple of weeks. Actually, this weather, I can handle this around here.
Yeah. We had a little shower move through over the night, but not sure it's enough other than to just hardly keep us going here for, the next week doesn't look like we get much precipitation around here, does it?
No, not at all. I mean, we'll take whatever we can get, but it would be nice to have about 6 to 8 hours of a nice steady shower. That would really get things going. But no, that's not on the list that I'm looking at right now.
No. It was interesting. Last night's crop condition reports from the USDA, they actually bumped up the Iowa corn conditions and now rated over 80% good to excellent. So they've just got a really good crop. Sounds like coming there. 4% of it jumped up into the good to excellent at 81% now. Their soybeans are rated 79% good to excellent. So that seems to be the center of the good stuff. Michigan crop ratings, corn dropped 6% out of the good to excellent for the last week, and looking around the state, some of this corn doesn't look quite as good as it did. Areas that have good water retention and a little heavier soils, corn still looks like it's hanging in there, but look like we. On the lighter ground, we kind of took its toll on the corn here this last week, and looking forward, we may have to get down the road 10 days. So we do have a little cooler and wetter forecast now this morning for the end of July, which is encouraging if we can get our corn to hang in there, and it's encouraging for our soybean crop too. Nationally, a little cooler and a little wetter this morning than what we were looking at just 48 hours ago. When markets were trying to rally there on yesterday morning and through the night, Sunday night, we had a good up strong market, and then through the day, lost it yesterday and closed everything lower. And boy, there's nothing but red on the board today, with new crop corn down 23 to 25 and soybeans down 33. New crop wheat's just down 12 at the moment. It's 15 cents off the low, so trying to recover a little bit there. But crop conditions sure a question still at this point, and everybody's really focused on the next weather forecast. Outside markets getting really pounded today. Crude oil down $7 a barrel at the moment. Gasoline down 19 cents per gallon on the futures, at least, Terry. So maybe we'll get some continued relief there from these inflationary pressures. With even gold is at about the lowest level it's traded at over the last year. So gold and silver also trading lower today. Many of the metals, along with corn, soybeans, wheat, soybean oil especially, on the defensive today.
What does the wheat look like so far in your area, Rick?
Yield's disappointing. We knew we had some, thin spots and drown outs. Tough getting the wheat going last year. It's so early though, Terry. We're just in the first day really of harvest. And the first stuff that's gotten ready is a little disappointing on yields. Depends on where you look. Further south you go here, from Hemlock, yields seem a little better. You get down into that Owasso, maybe Durand area, what we've heard yields a little better, but I think here we're going to be somewhat disappointed until we get maybe north of Auburn, Midland area, and see how that wheat looks. Not quite as mature there, and hopefully a little better yields. But so far the early stuff a little disappointing on the yields. Qualities look outstanding as far as falling numbers, vomitoxin, the things that we dread when we get into this wheat harvest. So far, so good there. So knock on wood, hopefully the qualities will hang in there. And really that has a big impact on a guy's bottom line on this wheat with the discounts for poor quality due to vomitoxin or falling numbers of problems that we've had in the past. Really just knocks the economic value wheat right out from under us. So it's good. At least maybe we don't have the yield, but the quality so far looks outstanding.
So on the board right now at the Andersons, what do you have?
At Hemlock right now, old crop corn at 626. That's for July delivery. New crop for fall delivery at 546. Old crop soybeans at 1540. New crop beans $13.17 for fall. Red wheat at 777. That's for July or August delivery. New crop here. Next new crop, maybe we keep an eye on for red wheat, $8.16 yet. White wheat for this harvest, $7.97. The new crop for next year at $8.16 as well.
Rick, you have a great day.
Thanks, Terry. Glad you're back.
You bet. Glad to be back. Rick Hollister over at the Andersons. Over to Doug Klein we go from Oppenheimer. The market report brought to you by Steiner Tractor. They're making new parts for old tractors easy to order. Telephone 800-234-3280 or go to their web address, steinertractor.com. Doug Klein, good morning.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now?
Well, crude's down $7.23 for no big reason at all, except the hedge funds played their play, and now they're giving it back, and hopefully they give it back in a bigger way than that. Gasoline at $3.28 puts us at about $3.90 for pump gas, which we won't see, but it's a good thought. It's a good start. But who knows? The euro hit a new low today, a 20-year low, under $1. It's kind of cycled around, so it's actually up a little bit over $1 right now. But that's kind of devastating for the U.S. For exchange rates. The dollar, of course, hitting a new high at the same time. Gold missed a new low by $10, but silver and platinum both got new lows, and copper missed a new low by 3 cents. So that's pretty rough in the commodity market, pretty much across the board. Here's your numbers. The September corn, 614 3/4, down 22 1/4. December corn is 604 1/4, down 24 3/4. And September of 23 corn, 576 1/2, down 14. The August soybeans, 1488 1/4, down 33 3/4. November soybeans, 1371 1/4, down 33 3/4. And November of 23 soybeans, 1274 1/4, down 19 3/4. September wheat is 846, down 10 1/2. December wheat is 860 3/4, down 11 3/4. And July of 23 wheat, 866, down 9 1/2. Crude oil, 96.71, down $7.38, 7%. Heating oil is $361.26, down 15 1/2 cents, 4%. Gasoline is $327.32, down 18.9 cents, 5.5%. Natural gas is $609.70, that's down 22 1/4 cents, that's 3.5%. So over to currencies, obviously been down and up today, but right now the U.S. dollar gets you 130.06 Canadian. That's pretty much flat right now. The dollar gets you 136.70 yen. That's down 72 ticks. The euro is at $1.66 of a penny. That's up 27 ticks. The dollar's at 107.95, down 7 ticks. Gold is at 1730.70, down $1. Silver is 1902, down a dime. And platinum's at 830.80. That's down $30.
Thank you very much, Doug. You have a great day, okay?
You too.
All right, Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Jerry Samolsky joining me right now from Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Jerry, with all this dry weather, any tips?
Terry, water. Grass hasn't gotten to the point where it's really going to die. It's going to go towards summer dormancy. But it's funny that we're seeing for this year a lot of yellow nut sedge. So if your grass is brown and not doing well, you see a little bit of more of a limey green, looks like grass. It really isn't. It's a sedge. just to prove that it's a sedge. If you pull it out of the ground and then roll the stems in your finger, you're going to find that it's segmented where grass is round. So that's a dead giveaway. That's for sure that it's not sedge. And that gets a foothold and it goes all over. But right now, Terry, everything's slowing down in its growth because of lack of water, except the weeds. The weeds are popping up and being crazy. So if you missed one a week ago, it's going to be like huge right now. So pay attention to your weeding in all your gardens. And again, your lawn, you may end up wanting to wait till it goes dormant and get some weed killer on it. But water, pay attention and water. Last 3 nights I've been dripping trees in my yard, a half hour a tree. I've got 3 hoses going, and we've been trying to keep up with keeping them happy during this heat.
All right, Jerry, good advice. The old trickle hose is working. Talk to you again.
Trickle hose. You betcha. Half hour tree is amazing what that can do.
Yeah, it is. You bet. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency joining me right now. And Craig, you don't have to have a drone to see how dry it is all over the place, but folks seem to be using those drones a little bit more these days, don't they?
Yes, Terry, they do. I was at an event over the weekend, and there were several of them buzzing around, and kind of jarred a little thought in my head that whether you're using them for fun or using them to scout fields, it's a good idea to let your insurance company know that you do have one. Some of them are relatively inexpensive, so if you don't want to insure it for damage, that's understandable. But you do want to make sure that your insurance company will cover you for your liability when you use it, in case it wanders off someplace where it shouldn't, lands on a road or causes an accident or damage of some sort. You want to make sure that the insurance company will pay for that damage and you don't have to out of pocket.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Now, some of these drones, you do have to be licensed, don't you?
I believe so. Yes, some of the more high-end ones that are used commercially, I think you have to be licensed as well. And again, there's another thing just to check on to make sure that you're covered when you are using it, if you're using it for business use also.
Yeah. So again, for more information, we can get a hold of you. How do we do that?
Well, Terry, we can take a phone call at 800-572-0939, or you can go to rummelinsurance.com and get a hold of us that way.
Craig Voorhees, thank you so much. Along with me on the line, Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Steve, good morning.
And a good morning to you, sir.
What's going on right now?
Well, right this particular minute, we've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average ahead by just over 80 points, putting it at 31,254. Volume, 334 million shares. The NASDAQ's down by 8 at 11,364. Volume, 356 million shares. Locally, mostly green. Caterpillar, 176.67, up 165. Deere, $300.30. Up 189. Excuse me. CMS 66 and a quarter, down a penny. Dow 51.40, up 39. DuPont 56.33, up 144. Corteva 53.46, up 55. GM 31.94, up 106. Trinzio 41.26, up 172. Walmart 126.20, up 75. Home Depot 288.93, up 256. Huntington Bank, $12.57, up 28, and AT&T is ahead by 8 cents at $20.74. And I personally think I did pretty good today.
I think you did wonderful. Let's try it again tomorrow, all right?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Steve Anderson, thanks a lot. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. The Michigan Corn Growers Association wants to remind you now is the time to be registering for their golf outings. There's going to be one July the 22nd. That's going to be down in Sunfield at Centennial Acres. Then another one coming up, a thumb golf outing on August the 10th. For more information, you can just go to their website, micorn.org. And I think the registration is there on the web as well. So it'll be made real easy for you to sign up for that. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around. But now we conclude our program with the playing of our national anthem.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton,